Hello and welcome to a new episode of Plug In with the Unchargeables. We come online every week to discuss a certain topics that has to do with living daily life with a chronic illness. We're always low on our battery and we cannot charge. That's why we're called the Unchargeables. We have a big community. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and we have a web shop. So if you're interested, check out all of the links below in the comments. Today's episode is about brain fog. What is it, and can you tell us funny stories about it? But first, we're going to introduce the panel of today. My name is Natalie. I'm 33 and I'm a single mother. I live on the island of Lanzarote. That's the Canary Islands in Europe. It's close to the north of Africa. And I'm the founder of the community, the Unchargeables, and trying to juggle everything in this big community. So let's introduce the other panel members. Kate, introduce yourself, please.
Thank you, Natalie. Hi, everybody. My name is Kate. I am one of the admin for the private Facebook group, and I also write for the website occasionally when I'm not sick. Yeah, that's pretty much me. Now I'd like to throw it over. Somebody help me with the name.
Julia.
Julia.
Hey, I'm Julia Sheely. I am the mother of two toddlers, and I dabble in fiber arts on occasion when I have energy, which is sort of like my day job at times. Natalie?
Thank you so much. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to read the explanation of what brain fog is. So brain fog is not a medically recognized term, but it's a commonly used phrase that sums up feeling of confusion, forgetfulness, and lack of focus and mental clarity. When you feel like foggy, unfocused, and you just can't think, your brain is sending an important signal that there's an imbalance in your life that needs to be addressed. We have asked our community, what does brain fog feel like to you? Well, let's first start with our panelists to see what brain fog feels like to them. To me personally, it's like you're in the middle of a sentence and everything goes blank. Like the lights just go out and you completely forget what you were talking about just 1 second ago. That's brain fog for me. Julia, what's brain fog for you?
Brain fog for me is, well, losing what I was talking about or knowing what I want to say and words just not coming. And no matter how hard I try, I can't get it out.
Kate?
Well, after listening to Julia and Natalie, I have realized that I do have moments of brain fog. Before I was like, no, I don't really experience this, but thinking about it, when my shunt's failing and I'm keeping on track, keeping focused, all that fun stuff. Natalie, back to you.
Well, our community says, I know what's going on, but my brain just won't let me respond. Like my mind struggles to process what people are saying at times in order to respond, even though I've heard them clearly and I've understood what they said. Let's see, Gemma says, like my brain is full of cotton wool. Understanding is slow or not absorbed at all. Knowledge is temporarily lost, like the connection has been turned off. And Sandy says, for me, it's like total confusion at times. The easiest, simplest things become so complicated. My memory is horrible all of the time. Donique says, it's like my brain is moving very slowly. I know what I want to say, but I can't remember how to say the words and I end up stuttering. Let's see, Barry says, forming a sentence is more like a puzzle. I can't think of a word, continue, and the listener has to guess the missing word. Ashley says, I forget what I'm saying in the middle of a sentence. People get irritated with me because I lose objects a lot, especially when I need them. I forget where I'm going while I'm driving to a destination. Oh my God, I have that too. I forgot how to get home. I lose my car in the parking lots. Yes, even when I try to remember where it is, I will not find it. I get so frustrated, I start tearing up and get anxious, which only makes it worse. Oh, Ashley, I'm so sorry. I just try to laugh about it because it's ridiculous. Like, oops, lost my car again. Okay, let's see what else. Lisa says, it's like I have a bunch of clear pictures, but I can't connect them. Colorful beads with no strings, ingredients, and no cake. I really like that explanation. Wilhelmine says, normally I remember where I put everything in my own home. Brain fog is like forgetting that all at once. I'm at a total loss without my brain. Best lesson to learn from this, don't try to clean or find something when your brain is foggy. Sunny says, it's like having the left-hand corner of my brain constantly asleep. My thinking is sluggish. I have trouble accessing my words that I use every day. It's worse than just forgetting where my car keys are. It's more like trying to find my keys in a fog bank of jumbled thoughts milling around like cranial stew, and I'm slogging through the mire, uncertain as what I drove, let alone where the keys are. Okay, that's a good description too. Let's see, let's do one or two more. We have a lot of comments. Stephanie says, brain fog to me is like I'm daydreaming, but still moving around. I feel like my brain has filled with literal fog, like everything I see is misty, even though I'm pushing my chair around and not really taking anything in or concentrating. Then I suddenly wake up and realized I've just wheeled for 2 minutes without even being aware. I do that when I'm driving. That's so dangerous. Jessica says, brain fog is kind of like trying to walk in a pool. You almost feel lighter, but with the water surrounding you, there is resistance with every step. Everything might be moving at a normal pace around you, but no matter how hard you try, your movements and thoughts are slow and sluggish. Jackie says, for me, brain fog is like when you first wake from a deep sleep. I can hear things, but I can't focus on what I'm hearing. I can't get my eyes to focus on small type or text. I have difficulty comprehending situations, words said, and actions made. Well, all these people are very good in explaining. My brain fog is unpredictable at times. I can be doing a task and not realize that there was a process to follow. As scary as this is, driving is an example. A few minutes down the road and I don't remember leaving the house. I can't think straight. My memory is distant at times and recalling information, well, that was past cleverness. Well, to me personally, that all sounds very familiar. What I have here, it says brain fog causes generally the brain fog causes generally fall in one of these two categories. Either it's lifestyle related or it's a side effect of a medical condition or medications. The clinical definition of brain fog is brain fog may be described as feelings of mental confusion or lack of mental clarity. It is called brain fog because it can feel like a cloud that reduces your ability to think clearly. It can cause a person to become forgetful, detached, and often discouraged and depressed, like we have seen in the comments. Brain fog is not recognized as a clinical diagnosis because it's not easy to test for it. It's quite subjective. In other words, the person just knows that they do not function well, and the mind often seems foggy or cloudy. I have a list of causes for brain fog. They include food allergy and specifically brain allergy. That means that you may not be allergic to food, but it can give you brain fog. And foods that it can give you brain fog are wheats and grains and sugars and things like that. A low-fat diet can also make you brain foggy because your brain needs fat and healthy fats, and they need a lot. And if you deprive your body of healthy fats, you can get brain fog. Food additives in processed foods, those are just all around bad for you, so those cause brain fog as well. Another one is dehydration. Our brain works on a lot of fluids, but the brain cannot hold nutrients and fluids, so you need to constantly supply it, otherwise you get foggy. And most people don't drink enough plain water. Drinking soda or milk or something else doesn't count, or juices. You really need to put good purified water in your body. Another cause is nutritional deficiencies, lack of sleep, stress, toxins in the environment and in your home. And like I said, the underlying health conditions like a lot of autoimmune diseases and prescription medications and over-the-counter medications. Well, I can say that in our community, most likely, most people suffer from brain fog because of their health conditions. I have also asked the community, tell us the funniest, craziest brain fog story you have. So, Kate, do you have a funny brain fog story to tell? Nope. Julia, do you have a funny brain fog story to tell?
Yes, this happened last year. It was between surgeries 3 and 4, I want to say. My son was going to speech therapy, and I called to reschedule his appointment. Only when they asked for his name, I could not get his name right. I went through every name I could think of, and my husband and I both have extremely large families. So after about 20 names, they caught my last name finally, at which time they were able to decide who he was and what appointment needed to be changed. I'm sorry about the changing. Like I said, I have 2 toddlers.
Well, to me, it's I forget appointments, right? And in the past year, my health has gone downhill, so I mostly make appointments in my own home, so I don't have to go anywhere, and that will cost me less energy. So I will tell my friends, yeah, sure, I can meet you tomorrow at 11. And then the next day at 11, my doorbell rings, and I'm like, why is the doorbell ringing? I'm not expecting anyone to open the door and see one of my friends. I'm like in my pajama. My house is a mess. Well, it's always a mess, but and then I will totally pretend that I didn't forget, like, oh yeah, sure, I was just making coffee. Oops. I will totally forget. And that doesn't just happen sometimes. It's probably almost every time. And especially at 11 o'clock, you know, I live on a small island. So when there's mail delivered, like a package, it's at 11 or 11:15, the mailman passes my house. So when the doorbell rings at 11, I usually think, oh, there's a package. So when I open the door, my friend will be there. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, you can come in. No, this is just my jogging outfit. So yeah, that totally happens to me a lot. Let's see. Charlene said, I had a day where so many words were substituted by the word cucumber. So strange and quite funny. It's like the actual names of things just dropped out of my head and were replaced by the word cucumber. Okay, I haven't had something like that, but it's funny. Francine says, when I'm yelling at my husband on my cell phone, I can't find my cell phone. I've been looking all over my purse this whole time. And she was talking to him on the phone. I do that too. I will be looking at my phone, reading messages, and then while doing that, looking for my phone. It's like the brain is crazy. And let's see what else we have. Brenda says, my mom was picking me up from the doctor one day. I was waiting on a corner of the street. When she pulled up, I opened the passenger door, got in the car, and started talking. I looked over at her, and it wasn't my mom. It was a strange man with a very shocked look on his face. I was so embarrassed I wanted to die. My mom was in the car behind his. The cars weren't even the same color. Oh, sorry. I can totally imagine that happening. Oh, Brenda, that's hilarious. Okay. Laura said, on the last day of school, before half term, I wanted to put my textbooks inside my locker, but forgot how to open it. The fact that it was already unlocked and that all I have to do was pull the handle seemed to have escaped me. I just stood there for a full minute staring blankly at my locker. Let's see. Missy says she will put a pitcher of iced tea in the cabinet and she'll put the sweetener in the refrigerating. She will get lost in her own street and stare blankly at a can of soup, wondering how to make it. The list goes on. I misplace like my keys and my phone, and they will be in the weirdest places. Like they will be on the toilet, or my phone will be in the refrigerator. Your brain just doesn't track what's going on. Julia, do you have stuff like that happening to you?
All the time. I try blaming it on my toddlers just because I can't keep up what's going on. Like, they had to have taken it, only for it to be somewhere where they can't even reach. So, yes, I completely understand, Natalie.
Yeah, exactly. Well, brain fog just causes a lot of feelings, let's say it that way. It can be frustrating, it can make you angry, it can make you feel bad, it can make you doubt your sanity. But really, it's part of being chronically ill. It's something you're going to have to deal with. Because the list of causes of brain fog that I just mentioned, you can do a lot about that. When it's lifestyle, you have to sleep better, you have to eat cleaner, all those things. Well, I eat so healthy. I don't eat sugar, I don't eat grains, I don't eat dairy. There's really nothing bad in my entire diet. And I'm still very, very brain fogged most of the time. It's a miracle that I can do these shows without kind of losing my train of thought, but that's probably because I'm extremely focused. So that's a tip I can give you. When I personally experience brain fog, it's because I'm just doing something without having the utmost focus on it. But I am seeing that, for example, when I park my car in a parking garage, I will really take a full 30 seconds to have a good look around in the parking garage and kind of count the poles, like the fifth pole from the right in the last row. If I take this stairs, and then I'll go into the shopping mall. And then when I go out, I will know where my car is. If I just park and I get into the shopping mall, I don't even remember which floor I parked. So for me personally, having a very good focus on something I do will, keep my brain kind of there. Okay, do you have any tips you can share with people?
Yes, I do. Sticky notes. They are my friend when I'm having issues and having brain fog. I have sticky notes everywhere to remind me to do stuff. I make notes in my calendar. I have a planner where I also write my appointments and make the same notes. So, I see it more than once. I set alarms on my phone to remind me, oh, today, web show, the Unchargeables, I got it. Or from the time I was very young, my parents kind of got me into a routine. So from my parents' house, when my mom died, I inherited this beautiful glass bowl that we had always used to put our keys in or whatever. So as soon as I get into my apartment, my keys, my phone, whatever goes into that bowl. So it works. Julia, how about you?
I make plenty of to-do lists, but I keep losing them. So I've been investigating into this new type of journaling called the bullet journal. It's basically a piece of paper that doesn't have lines, that has different bullets, little dots on it, and you can arrange. I'm so sorry. But you can have little dots on it, and you can just keep your calendar there, notes. You can empty your brain when you have a lot going on, which is normally when it triggers my brain fog, is just way too much activity all the time. So I've really been looking into that and getting started into that, because it's more than just your average daily planner. It is your complete brain dump and focus help. Natalie?
Well, those are some pretty good tips. I also make to-do lists, and I have two places where I save them. I also have sticky notes. I practically do everything. So I write it on paper, I write it on sticky notes, I put it in my phone, but I never look at the things in my phone, so that doesn't help me. And I make to-do lists that I save on my computer. And most of the times when I make to-do lists and I write it by hand, I will take a picture of it with my phone. And I have a folder that I have named important, and I will put the pictures of those things in the important folder. So, I just go into the important folder and look at my pictures to see if I need to do something or if I missed something, that really helps for me. Anyway, we're getting to the end of our show, because there's only so much you can say about brain fog. I wanted to tell you that we also have a web shop, and in the web shop we have a brain fog collection. Today I received the brain fog t-shirt, so give me a second and I'll get it. Here's the brain fog shirt. I'm loving it. So I'll be wearing that tomorrow. So if you want to let people around you know I'm not crazy, I have brain fog, check the links in the description, and I'll have the link to the brain fog collection there. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye.